Hello, hello, my friends. I have another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about Kringle Candle Reserve Pumpkin Buns. Now, this candle was released in their 2023 Fall Reserve lineup. Sorry, you guys, I'm going to fix this real quick. That drives me nuts. Okay, better now that it's centered. But like I was saying, this candle was released in their 2023 Fall Reserve lineup, and it is still currently available on the Kringle website. So I thought, you know what? It's in my collection. I should give it a burn. And I've given it more than one burn, obviously, for this review. But give it a try and share my thoughts with you on this candle. So this is their, like I said, their reserve line. So these candles do retail for $34. This is their standard 2-wick 100% soy wax. This particular fragrance is only available in this format, which is their large 2-wick tumbler. We do have kind of the more transparent black vessel. I would say it's, yeah, I mean, see, you can see the flames through there. So it's not that opaque black that Kringle originally started out with their glass. I do think that since they have moved away from that opaque format, I think we haven't received confirmation about this, but my theory for the reason why they moved to more of this transparent glass was I do know that, remember when the Reserve line was initially launched, a lot of people were finding that their candles were breaking very, very easily. The vessels were. And I remember Mick had told us that it was because when they were using those opaque black glass jars, the candle, the vessels themselves went through a lot more handling before they got to the customer, just based off of like how they had to paint the jars and all of that kind of stuff. And so I think they made them a little bit more fragile. So I don't know if that's one of the reasons why they moved away from that. I also know that some people were saying that, you know, they kind of felt like it was a little bit of a hazard because sometimes they would forget that a candle was burning with that opaque matte or that opaque glass jar. So I'm okay with this kind of move over to the more transparent black. I don't know why I went on that tangent, but I just did. I'm kind of getting back into doing some dedicated reviews after taking a couple of weeks off due to illness. So forgive me if I tend to ramble. Let's get this train back on the tracks. Fragrance notes on this candle are listed as top notes of pumpkin, apple, peach, and clove, mid notes of cinnamon, ginger, mixed nuts, nutmeg, base notes of caramel, maple syrup, milk, and vanilla. Now, this candle has a pour date for me of August 30th, 2023, because I did purchase this candle last year when they launched this reserve line. And truth be told, you guys, the reason why I didn't get around to reviewing this candle until this year was because I didn't burn this candle until this year because on cold sniff, I didn't like it. I actually really highly considered decluttering it. In fact, I think when I initially got it in, I had planned to send it to my friend Connor. Connor loves candles, but the shipping costs were going to be too high. And we were like, we'll just hold on. And he's like, just hold on to it. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But my nose on cold, I definitely picked up on like what I would say is the smorgasbord of these of the fragrance notes here. My nose definitely detected some of that like mixed nuts, nutmeg, a lot of those base notes that are listed there. But I think what was honestly throwing my nose off a little bit was the peach note that's listed as a top note in here. It says pumpkin, apple, peach, and clove. I definitely got pumpkin and I got some of that cinnamon and ginger in here. There is definitely ginger, although there was like a nuttiness in the fragrance. The base notes don't really come out until I start burning a lot of my Kringle candles, so I didn't really detect a ton of caramel or maple syrup. Maybe some sweetness from there, but it wasn't like off the bat to my nose like, oh, this is maple or this is caramel. And I definitely don't really smell milk or vanilla in there. It was definitely like a spicy fragrance, but again, like I said, a little bit of that peach note mixed in there was throwing things off for me. And I just wasn't so sure what I was going to think about this because it was a very sweet, spicy fragrance mixed with a little bit of a savory note that I could detect in the cold sniff. But again, it just gave me enough pause. Now, I will say that over the last year that it's been sitting in my closet, the more and more that I would go in and sniff it, I thought, okay, I'm warming up to this. Maybe I don't want to declutter it. Maybe I will go ahead and burn it and share some thoughts with you. So upon burn, I am happy to say that I feel like the whatever note it was, I really think it was the peach note in here that was throwing my nose off a little bit, or giving me concern that that note was just going to overtake everything. Thankfully, it mellows out. When this candle is burning, I still do get some of that spiciness from the ginger and the cinnamon in here, but it's not an overly spicy type of fragrance. Now, I will say the savory notes of caramel, and still, I don't really detect vanilla in here, but more of like a nutmeg, little bit of sweetness of maple syrup. Those do start to come out a little bit more when this candle is burning. But I do get some of that more of like the nuttiness, like that kind of savory aspect to this fragrance. The pumpkin note is still there. Clove is not super heavy to my nose. Maybe a little bit of apple lends some sweetness to it. But it's a fragrance that, again, I like it better when it is burning. I still don't love the fragrance. It's just okay for me. I don't see this being a fragrance that I would want to repurchase and have in my collection year after year. Performance of this candle, I will go ahead and turn it around again here, but we've got a good clean burn going so far in terms of the wax. I can go ahead and try to lift this up so that way you can see the wax pool is still very, very clean. We're not dealing with, sooty wax. These, whoa, sorry, you guys, my little tripod there, it wants to dance around a little bit today. Come on, here, let's move there. Sorry, you guys. All right. So we've got a pretty good, clean burn going on, which is what we come to expect from Kringle Candle. Strength and throw on this candle, funny enough, for this being such a strong fragrance. Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm trying to make this frame come a little bit better for you. Shouldn't have moved it. Note to self, don't touch, don't touch the tripod here. But what I will say is that this fragrance, for it being as strong as it was on cold sniff, I'm honestly surprised that it's not as strong upon burn. So this fragrance for me, I'm going to give it somewhere around like a 6 in terms of strength and throw. I can smell it when I burn it out in the living room, but it's not very, very strong. Now, if I burn it in a bedroom, which has lower ceilings and is more closed concept, it is detectable, but it's still not a like smack me in the face type of fragrance, which I'm okay with. Very similar to the, what is that? The salted maple pumpkin, because this is just a fragrance that I don't particularly like love. I'm okay with it not being super, super strong, because I feel like if it was super strong, particularly this one, I would not enjoy it, just because there are some aspects that were smelling pretty strong on cold sniff to me that I was like, ooh, I don't like this. Like they were turning me off. So I don't know. I'm okay with it. Now, that being said, for it being a reserve candle and a fragrance, or like a fragrance line that does not go on sale quite often, for $34, I do feel like this candle should be stronger for those who really enjoy this type of fragrance. But like I said, for my own personal preference, I guess it's okay, but it is somewhere just around a 6. When I burn it out in my open concept living room, it does start to get a little bit lost out there. It's not a fragrance that I acknowledge when I'm walking in opposite side of the room. And it definitely doesn't project all the way into my kitchen, or like I said, across the room. So those are my thoughts on this candle. It is currently available on the Kringle website with a lot of other fall 2023 reserve candles. Not Great Pumpkin. I know we were all hoping that one would have made a return, but unfortunately, we don't see it. I do know that they did restock over this weekend. The sprinkled macarons candle is back on the website, as well as Sinful. So every once in a while, just keep checking back if there are some reserve fragrances that you've had your eye on. Every once in a while, they'll put some on the website. But this one has been listed on the site for a little while. So I thought that it would be a good idea to share my thoughts with you. My discount code Katie15 will save you 15% off of your purchase over at Kringle Candle. That is an affiliate code eligible for a commission, so please only use that if you are comfortable doing so. But I do have some reviews coming down the pipeline for you from the 2024 fall collection. Those were sent to me in PR, but I still do have another fall 2023 candle, which is Gilded Leaves. I did see that that one is back in stock on the website as well. So stay tuned if you do want to see reviews on those reserve candles. They will be coming down the pipeline here pretty soon here on my channel. But for today, if you found this video helpful, please consider hitting the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this. Also, feel free to chime in the comment box down below what your burn experience has been with this candle. Do you guys pick up that weird kind of like peachy note? I know a lot of people love peach fragrances. They're hit or miss for me. My husband absolutely despises them. And funny thing, I don't think he really likes this fragrance that much. So that should probably tell you that, yeah, there's a little bit of that. The peach mixed with pumpkin always just kind of like throws me off, because peach to me is like a late spring summer fragrance. I don't have room for it in my fall or winter lineups. I guess I'm very basic and nostalgic about my fall and winter fragrances. So anyways, you guys, please stay tuned for more dedicated reviews coming up for you guys later this week. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for watching this video today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.